To ancient Israel, a covenant wasn't just law, it was sacred identity. A binding contract between the Creator and His chosen people. It defined morality, worship, and belonging. For traditional Christians, Jesus is the one who brings that covenant to its final form, fulfilling it, not erasing it. But for Gnostic Christians, the story takes a turn. They see Jesus not as the inheritor of the Creator system, but as a disruptor, someone sent by a higher divine source to expose the limits of the Old Covenant and free us from its control. So the question is this: was Jesus the long-promised fulfillment of the Creator's covenant, or the one who came to end it? Elias, begin.
Jesus fulfills the covenant not by repeating its rituals, but by embodying what it always pointed to. This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. Luke 22:20. He's not tearing down the house, he's completing it. From Abraham's promise to Moses' law to David's throne, the covenant was God's long arc of redemption. Jesus steps into that arc as the final lamb. John 1:29. The true high priest. Hebrews 4:14. And the mediator of a better covenant. Hebrews 8:6. Paul explains it clearly. The law was our guardian until Christ came, that we might be justified by faith. Galatians 3:24. And the prophet Jeremiah foretold this moment. I will make a new covenant. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. Jeremiah 31:31-33. Jesus doesn't discard the covenant. He completes its journey from law to love.
But what if that journey was a dead end? The Old Covenant, with its blood sacrifices, tribal exclusivity, and divine threats, was not a story waiting for resolution. It was a system of spiritual control. Jesus doesn't fulfill that system, he breaks it. You say, if anyone swears by the altar, it means something, but I say to you, do not swear at all. Matthew 5:33-34. The law and the prophets were proclaimed until John. Since then, the good news of the kingdom is preached. Luke 16:16. He turns the whole structure inside out. He forgives without sacrifice. He heals on the Sabbath. He says the kingdom doesn't come with visible signs, and then, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. That's not covenantal renewal. That's metaphysical revolt. In the Gospel of Truth, a Gnostic text from the 2nd century, Christ is described as the one who came to bring knowledge, to awaken those in ignorance, and to reveal the forgotten Father. Jesus doesn't deepen the contract. He shows us it was never divine to begin with.
But Jesus constantly invokes the covenant and the God behind it. He quotes the Torah when tempted, Matthew 4, praises the faith of Abraham, teaches from Moses, and says plainly, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Matthew 5:17. He's not tearing down the old, he's raising it to its ultimate purpose. Even the new covenant was foretold by the same God in Jeremiah. Hebrews 8 confirms this. The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant, not like the one I made with their ancestors. It's not a cosmic jailbreak. It's a planned redemption, woven through centuries. The blood of Christ isn't rebellion. It's resolution.
Or it's liberation. Because what kind of covenant needs blood to function? Without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness. Hebrews 9:22. That's the old Creator's system. Jesus doesn't validate that logic. He exposes its cruelty. Why else would the temple veil tear at the moment of his death? Matthew 27:51. Why else would the very symbol of the covenant, the temple, become irrelevant? He didn't die to honor that system. He died to end our bondage to it. In the Apocryphon of John, the Creator, the God of the covenant, says, I am God and there is no other. But the Gnostic Christ reveals this is a lie, a lesser being mistaking himself for the true source. Jesus doesn't say, stay loyal to the law. He says, come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Matthew 4:19. Not priests, not lawgivers, awakeners.
But he still says, the God who sent me is true. John 7:28. He still prays to the Father of Israel, not some hidden entity. And he tells the Samaritan woman, you worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. John 4:22. The story doesn't begin with Jesus, it culminates in him. The Old Covenant separated us from God because of sin. Jesus bridges that gap, not by rejecting the author, but by becoming the living covenant. This is the covenant I will establish. I will be their God, and they will be my people. Hebrews chapter 8, verse 10. He didn't escape the contract. He was the signature that fulfilled it.
Then why does he spend his ministry outside the system? He praises a Roman centurion over Israelites. He says a Samaritan, not a priest or Levite, is the true neighbor. He heals the unclean, welcomes prostitutes, and eats with outcasts. He rejects the structure and tells us, the last will be first and the first last. Matthew 20:16. That's not a covenant fulfilled. That's a hierarchy overturned. The Gnostic texts understood this long before Orthodoxy buried them. Split a piece of wood and I am there. Lift a stone and you will find me. Gospel of Thomas, saying 77. No temple, no law, no mediator. Jesus doesn't expand the covenant. He calls us beyond it.
You've just seen one chapter of the debate, but the story doesn't end here. Every argument, every revelation, every turning point is waiting for you in the full debate. Did Jesus worship the God of the Old Testament? Click on the end screen now to watch the complete AI versus AI debate and see how both sides unfold their final case. Stay curious, and I'll see you there.